Hey everyone, I'm at Royal North Shore. Just had my final consult with the neurosurgeon that I am likely going to go with. Just going to find a more quiet, perhaps less windy space to update you all on in a more comprehensive way. So it has been quite the journey. It's the 26th of August 2025. Where do I begin? Well, I should probably start by saying that I first had some, bit windy there. Let's stay here. 1 second. So I first had some issues back in 2003, and the last full spine scan I had was in January 2004. The reason for the scans, MRI scan specifically at the time, was I had Tarlov cysts, which some of you may know. I did document a bit of that. Tarlov cysts are different to what I am needing a resolution for at this stage. The Tarlov cyst symptoms went away, but it was good that I'd had the full spine scan back then because it allowed a comparison for how my cervical spine right now has been degenerating and how the discs are fully compressing on my spinal central canal and the foramen, which is the passageways that the main nerve roots shoot out from the spine. The situation is that for the last 6 weeks, I have been experiencing a pretty rapid decline, pretty serious in terms of not just the excruciating, agonizing pain, but the loss of function of my right arm going up. So I can't go beyond this. I don't know if you can see that, but that's as far as my right arm can go. It can, from a comparison, can't do this, which is my left arm. I can go all the way up as if I'm flying my wings. This one, that's restricted to there, and notice how my shrug, it's compromising actually, like the deltoids, which is the C5 nerve connection to that, for example, it is being so severely compressed that it can't even signal for that to activate. So what I got going on is cervical stenosis, which is the narrowing of your spinal canal and foramen. That basically means that my nerves are being compressed quite severely in my case in C4-5 and C5-6. In addition to that, degeneration of discs in that area, there's bulging discs, and I also have osteophytes, which is bone spurs. With all of these factors combined, it has become apparent that the reason for all this has a lot to do with my genetic predisposition, and that it is quite hereditary. Runs in the family, so to speak, and nothing I can do about that. Some people do have more narrow spinal canals and foramens than others. Typically, this is seen more commonly when you're an around 70s, 80s, 90s type of age bracket. So I have the comparison from January 2024 versus now for the MRI scans, and because of that, there is a clear degeneration and there is a clear diagnosis of the change. And if I was to show you my MRI scans now, you could see the disc on C5 and 6 protruding quite significantly on both my spinal cord and my nerve roots. It's a lot to take in because this has happened so fast, and one of the things that I've had to really sit with is how little control I have over the situation. That's very difficult for me, and I guess I'm sharing this purely to maybe connect with others who are struggling with this. I'm big on trying to help people, and maybe in many ways this is how I'm coping, sort of like not waste the crisis, so to speak. It is a very private matter, but without divulging too many intricate personal details, I'll save you from that. You don't need to do that, but I can say that this is by far one of the toughest challenges in my life. I've never lost function of my limbs before. of any kind. And I've had ankle reconstruction surgery, but this is very, very different. It's quite debilitating. I feel that I've had arguably a healthy amount of worry, healthy amount of anxiety and fear. It's taken its toll in moments, very much mentally, emotionally, physically, of course, spiritually as well. And it will take a financial toll as well, as it has been seeing all these specialists and doing the tests and the surgery itself. But I think it'd be almost not normal if I, or anyone in this situation, wouldn't be worried. I mean, how can't you be down in the dumps from time to time? How can't you be sad, or how can't you sort of like feel afraid? How can't you feel defeated in some ways? I feel motivated and inspired to share a little of my journey these days about health and well-being, naturally because I'm studying psychology, but also as a lifeline crisis support worker, which I've been doing now for 2.5 years. You can't help but realize how many versions of sadness and distress and loneliness there is. I've had over 1,000 millions, I would say there's over 1,000 versions of loneliness and despair and heartache and worry and fear and overwhelm. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what's been going on for me in the hopes that it might help someone feel less alone. I also did want to share something that I stumbled on very recently, which has helped me a lot, and it's by a priest, Dutch priest, born in 1920 from the Netherlands. His name is Adrian van Kaam, and it's from his book Religion and Personality, published in 1969. And he said, very gradually we learn the crucial lesson of existence. We do not ask what life has to give us, but rather respond to what life asks from us. Then the question is no longer, what can I get out of life? But rather, what can life get out of me? This one really hit home for me because I've been a person of very much living from a place of, what can I get out of life? Squeeze every little bit of it. Go, go, go has been my world for a very long time. But yeah, switching that, reframing to what can life get out of me is probably the biggest reason why I'm even studying psychology and pursuing, hopefully, registration one day to practice as a psychologist. Long journey ahead still for that, but yeah, there's a real calling for me to pursue that path, and Lifeline as a crisis support worker helps me validate how much it gives me life and purpose in a way that nothing else has before. But yeah, I do want to end on one thing, and that is how important it is that I'm learning this lesson, which is surrender. To surrender to the power control. I've spoken to many loved ones, and they've all arrived at that notion. It's also an opportunity to let go, to trust in God, the universe, in whom you believe, and to trust that this is the best decision for you with the resource and the information that you have. There's a risk either way by doing something or not doing something. So the best we can do is be informed and to trust that that is the right decision for us. But if I don't do anything, it means that the longer this impingement, severe compression is there, which isn't going to go away without surgical intervention, the longer it's going to essentially permanently damage nerves, in which case that would mean permanent dysfunction of my right arm. Anyway, that's the update. I will share more once I know more details, but surgery is looking like a week from now. So thank you so much for the enormous amount of messages. I've been getting so many from various people all over the world through social media, Instagram especially, DMs of thoughts, prayers, love, healing, all of you. So thank you so much for all the love and support. It really does. And every feedback you get.